I'm about to say something I never thought that I would say during my lifetime. The Detroit Lions murdered the NFL draft. When they hired Brad Holmes as their new GM from the Rams, you knew they were getting both a great drafter and someone who has experience being a major player in free agency during his time with the Rams. During his time with the Rams, they brought in a lot of veteran guys during free agency, and they also drafted very well, like just building this team that almost won a Super Bowl and has been this consistent playoff contender. So when they hired him, you knew they were getting a really good drafter, and this first draft was really going to set the tone for how they were going to build the team. Looking at head coach Dan Campbell, and especially after watching his press conference, he is 100% a football meathead. He is 100% a football guy, and that's exactly what Detroit needed. He's just talking about bringing a culture to Detroit. He is talking about bringing that tough guy attitude to the Detroit Lions, and I think they went that exact direction during the draft. So let's talk about their draft. With their first round pick, seventh overall, a lot of rumors were going around that they were looking to trade down, except if tackle Penei Sewell was there. And somehow, some fucking way, one of the best prospects in the draft, Penei Sewell, was there at 7, so it was a no-brainer for Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell to make that choice. And just watch this clip of Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell the moment they put in that pick.
All right, man. Congratulations, man. Enjoy with your family. All right. Hey, let me get you on the phone with our head coach Dan Campbell. All right. Congratulations, big man. All right.
Big man.
Turn it.
Hey, we are fired up, my friend. You're going to change the culture for us, man. We're going to build this thing around guys like you. You hear me? You come in and play just like you've been playing, man. You come in to compete, man. You be just as nasty and as dirty as you've been, and you're going to help us turn this thing around. We're going to be winners, man. All right? You're the building block. Do you hear me? All right. We're fired up, man. Hey, listen, I'm going to turn you over to our owner, all right? Sheila Ford Hamp, all right? So just a minute here. All right, brother.
Wow! There's a very excited draft room
That's
here.
outstanding. That's outstanding.
Fucking look at that. You see Brad Holmes banging on the desk. You can hear Dan Campbell just saying, outstanding, outstanding. You hear Dan Campbell talk about having Penei Sewell helping set the tone for their culture moving forward. You can hear him say that to Penei Sewell. You can hear Dan Campbell just repeating outstanding, outstanding, them just hugging it out over an offensive tackle. That is what I love to see for an NFL team, and that's exactly what I love to see for a team like Detroit, who's never been able to figure it out. And I think this regime, with this pick specifically, this is what's helping turn around the team. You got the best tackle in the draft, and you can argue whether this is Sewell or Trevor Lawrence, but a dude with the highest all-pro ceiling in the draft right now. It's between Sewell, Pitts, and Lawrence. Those are without a doubt the 3 best prospects in this draft, and they got Sewell. They got their left or right tackle, whichever one he's going to fit in, but he can also play guard as well. So Sewell, what a fantastic pick. You can hear them talking about building a culture with Sewell being a main part of that culture. That is massive for the Detroit Lions moving forward. But when you look at the rest of their draft, with their 2nd and 3rd round picks, a lot of people were saying you need a receiver. You absolutely need to draft receiver, which, yeah, I mean, they did, but I don't blame them for going back-to-back defensive tackle DN picks. You got, during the 2nd round, you got defensive tackle from Washington, Levi. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name, but it's a really long last name. He was considered by some to be the best defensive tackle in this draft. You pair him up with Michael Brockers, Trey Flowers, Romeo Okwara, which was a massive re-signing that they also did during this offseason period. But you pair him up with those 3 guys, and then during the 3rd round, you bring in another D tackle. That is going to punish other teams' offensive lines. That is massive, and I love to see that. During the 3rd round, they also brought in a cornerback just to help that defense out. But the reason why I love the 2 defensive tackle picks so much, when, yeah, they did need receiver. They most certainly could have gone receiver, and no one would have complained. But I love the two defensive tackle picks because they're building this team through the trenches. They're building this culture through the trenches. Holmes and Campbell know what they're doing. They want to give the Detroit Lions an identity. They want to be Detroit. They want to be a tough team. So bring in Penei Sewell. That offensive line already has Frank Ragnow, who is a great center. Then they already have left tackle Taylor Decker, who is a great tackle. And I don't know how that tackle situation is going to work with Sewell and Decker. It honestly doesn't really matter. As long as you keep both of them and Ragnow, you have a good to great offensive line. It just depends how on Sewell develops. And if they could fill in those gaps, if they can fill in those guard positions, they got a great offensive line that will protect Jared Goff, assuming he's just the bridge quarterback for the next 2-3 years. And as DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams and Kerryon Johnson, especially DeAndre Swift, as he develops, now you have a great offensive line that he can just rely on. And that's massive for any young running back. Like, that is the biggest part of any young running back's career, is definitely their offensive line. That's massive for DeAndre Swift. Then when you look at their defensive side, there's nothing really to be super proud about besides that front four or front five now with that third round pick. I already talked about it, but they can definitely punish the offensive lines of any other teams. If just Trey Flowers can stay healthy, him and Aquara, I'm sorry, I'm definitely butchering that, but they are really good DNs. You already brought in Brockers from the Rams for like a 7th round pick, something stupid low like that, to be your D tackle. You brought in Levi Onwuzurike. I hope I said that right. If I did, a round of applause for fucking me. From Washington, who was a great defensive tackle prospect. And then their 3rd round pick was a guy with fantastic potential with his speed, power, and his with his athleticism. Alim McNeil, he has potential. He's not going to come in like Sewell and Levi from Washington. I'm not going to try that last name again, because those first 2 picks, they're going to come in and immediately contribute and be really good to great at their respective positions. McNeil, though, he's going to take a little bit, but if he works out the way that they want him to, Jesus Christ, him, Romeo Aquara, and Trey Flowers, and Michael Brockers, and Levi Onwuzurike, whatever it is, they're dangerous. They are definitely dangerous. But now I'm going to kind of talk about how the Lions still aren't going to be good, because I've hyped up the Lions for 7 minutes now. I've hyped them up for 7 minutes now. That was a great draft, and I love what Holmes and Dan Campbell are doing. I love it. But they're still gonna be really bad next year. And let me explain why. Because building through the trenches takes a while. They already have some pieces in place. They already have pieces in place right now. But Jared Goff is your quarterback. And there's very little rushing game because DeAndre Swift's not bad, but he's not that good. Hopefully he can develop into that good to great running back this season. The Jamal Williams pickup was really good. You got him on a super cheap contract. So they have some rushing game, nothing too special though. But when you look at their passing game, they do have TJ Hawkinson. Aside from TJ Hawkinson, I'm going to just go to the depth chart real quick. You got Brashad Perryman, Tyrell Williams, and Khalif Raymond. The passing game's going to be awful. It's going to be very, very, very awful. And their passing defense, if Jeff Okudah does not really step it up, isn't going to be good either. So, yeah, the Lions are going to be bad next year. They're still going to be a bad football team. You have a new head coach. It's his first time being an official head coach. You have Jared Goff as your QB, which, I mean, if he can step it up and kind of take just take it personally, like just take what happened personally, that would be sick, but he has no one to throw it to. So if the rushing game works out the way that the Lions are hoping that it does, because you can tell they're going in on the rushing game, drafting Sewell, bringing in Jamal Williams, hoping that DeAndre Swift pans out, they're going in with the rushing game. If they could be a pound the rock team, and if their defense does something, they could win like 7 games. So, yeah, they're not going to be good next season, but I love the direction that they're trending in. I love the culture that they're building. We heard what Dan Campbell said during the video. This is about building a culture, and they have the right building blocks in place right now. And it's going to be a while. But give it 3-4 years. If they hit on a few of these draft picks, they hit on a few draft picks next year, because boy, they have a lot of them. They have the Rams picks. It would be massive. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me today. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, whatever the fuck you want, and share it with someone. Hell yeah. The Lions did well. I never thought I'd say it, but I hope you enjoyed, and have a great day.